Okie dokie. And with that, we should now be live. Here, give me 1 second. It's been a little while, so I just need to make sure that everything's working properly. Yep, there it be right there. Now I just gotta hear me talking it. Alright. Just give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. With that, we are live. Welcome everybody. I know it's been a little while. Let me see. Do. And then one last one. Give me 1 second. Hey, waifu. Oh my god. It has been forever, man. Dude, how have you been? You can at least hear me alright, right? That's what I just want to make sure. That's what I've noticed. You've been playing a lot of Rocket League. What? Oh, I just wanted to make sure that the sound was actually all right. That you can actually hear me. That's what I wanted to be sure of. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that alone. You can't hear my game too much. Well, that's fine with me. I mean, I'll turn it up just slightly, but it's mainly for like the ambiance, I would say. I just want it to be at least loud enough to where like you can kind of enjoy the background music, but not so loud that I'm drowned out. So pretty much stream is very self-explanatory. Oh, you hear it now? Good. We're just going to be adding the optional quests to the leaderboard, as well as the event quests. Now, thankfully, the little news bulletin has the list of event quests that have come out so far, so I can always go back to that. The speedrun.com leaderboard for Monster Hunter Wilds, we are not going to be tracking investigations. I don't think for now, and honestly, I don't think ever, just because there are too many variables that we're, I guess, overall comfortable with actually trying to keep track of. Because, like, one thing that I could think of for sure is, like, whether the different active events, whether, like, you try to force, like, 1,000 paratoads or some shit to happen all at once. Honestly, I think, like, as fun as it is to, like, show it off in a run, it's not as healthy for, like, an actual leaderboard. Because there's way too much randomness. Or, like in this one, Hunting Assistant Werner and Gemma. Now, I don't know where those guys spawn in particular, but to have, like, Werner's bomb just, like, help you out in the middle of the hunt, it seems a bit much. It seems a bit much to try and keep track of. So that's why we're just sticking to to just the optional quests. In fact, actually, one second. Yeah. If I switch to like this, I think it makes tracking it a lot easier. I didn't realize that I had this many optionals to still do. Welcome. Welcome. Alright. What's up, Shek? So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the display capture. Probably, there we go. And then, where's my game? That's right, my game's full screen. Alright, so let's at least get started. Obviously, we're going to have... If I remember right, we're actually disabling the comments for that one for the game permissions. Just because that's something that we did with Monster Hunter Rise. Guide submissions. Honestly, for the guide submissions, I'm just going to put users with a verified run in this game in particular. I'll definitely talk to Zhao more about that later on. But I would say a big reason why for that is because, especially right now, I think a lot of people are just going to try and rush a guide out there that may or may not actually be any good, or like I would like there to be like some like stakes in the game for you to be providing a guide. Hey Drago. You know, it's going pretty good so far. I haven't really speedrun Wilds at all, but I've been enjoying the game pretty casually. And I've been enjoying beginning to watch people's runs as they actually start breaking the game a bit. Now, resource submissions, and again, I'm going to go ahead and put users with a verified run for now. If I need to change that later, or if Zhao wants to change that later, then he could definitely do so. Let me pull up another tab for speedrun.com, because I'm trying to remember how the heck I did it with what's it called? Give me a second. That NVIDIA thing's always in the way. Can I get rid of it like this? I hope so. There we go. Good. All right. Settings. I'm trying to remember how I did this. Let's see. Permission. That wasn't it. Now for categories. Yeah, it was just village, hub, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, if I remember right. Levels. That's what it was. It was under levels, and then it was under technically variables. Alright, so let me go back. Categories. Let me go ahead and put 80%. For now, we're just going to do one player, always show it in milliseconds. Let me think. I mean, it's any percent. Shoot. I'll go over with Zhao and, well, actually, I'll leave this alone. That's a lie. I'll leave the category part alone. I'll let Zhao handle that because he's actually been doing the any percent. So for now, just the levels. And I think it's safe to say we could just do low rank 1 star. Let me get the star icon. That's not what I wanted. There we go. That's all I need, thank you. Go ahead and move that up. There we go. I don't think anyone's really going to be doing the low rank stuff, but even then, I like to still have it on there. Just because, yes, I get it. For quite a number of runners that have quite a bit of stake in the game, it's not very impressive. But, you know what? It's a fun thing to do every once in a while. Exactly. I'm all about representing every single quest. You know, you just reminded me that I told Zhao that if you wanted to give me the time, I would do the same with Generations Ultimate. Now, that's a thing that would probably take a few days, just because of how many quests there are in that dumb game. Well, I say dumb, but I love that game. Alright, let me just double check. That's what I thought. High rank starts at 4 star. So we'll just begin calling it high rank 4 star. Here we go. We don't have 8 star yet, do we? No, it's just 7 with Arkfeld being the only one. Funny. Okay. Clearly that's gonna change when Arc-Tempered Raydao comes out, I think. Alright, time to get started. Let's go ahead, put this kind of to the side right here. Or not. There we go. Low rank 1. Alright. How did I add these variables again? They changed the website layout from what I remember. That's right, it was variables. I think. Oh my god. How did I do this again? How funny is that? It's been so long since I've actually added new quests that I have forgotten how to do it. Version, levels. Was it edits? Definitely not. Oh lord. Subcategories. Was it this? Single level. All right. Maybe this was something I should not have streamed. Gonna make a fool out of myself. Let me just be sure I'm doing this right. Let me double check with this one. Categories. Yeah, players. Subcategories. Platforms. Rules. I'm just going to click on one. Anomaly 1. How did I do this? How is it done? Okay, looks like that. So variables. Let's see. Oh, that's right, that's right. I had to make another variable that coincided with the level. Alright, alright, alright. How does that show up over here? It's under, yeah, it's under subcategories. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and click it just in case. So I'm just going to click it. Subcategories. Scope, all categories, single level. Okay, that's what I thought. Is there any? Yeah, I didn't think there was any description to that. Single level. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Good, good, good. Low rank 1. And then we can add the quest from right here. Thank God I was losing my mind. Alright, so we got bugging in the desert. I'm not gonna buy. Oh wait, rules. Yeah, there's no need to put the rules right here from what I remember, because from there you have your 2 different rule types. Default values, archive values. If I remember right. Let me just double check the rise one, just to make sure I'm not accidentally screwing it. Yeah, default value. That's what I thought. That's right. One of them's got to be a default value. So, all right. And then we go from here. Yeah, not the most exciting stream. I can understand that. Interesting on how there's like 2 quests that's like bugging in the desert and then bugging in the Scarlet Forest. I feel like they probably could have taken slightly more creative liberties with that one. But who am I to judge? The only thing I judge are speedruns. The nice thing about doing it this... Oh, wait a minute. We're in... No, we're still 1 star. Okay, good. Whoops. Every rose has a stinger. Ha ha ha. Alright, next. Okay, so last of the 1 stars is the Deshagama. Okay. And bam. Low rank 1 done. Alright, next. Save. And then we just create the new variable. In fact, I'm just going to move it up right there. Low rank 2. And then we just do the same. And then have that one be the default value, which is kind of funny to me. Oh, there it goes again. A third one. Bugging in the cliffs. Filled by the tide. Oil well. Whoops. And then a jerrican is the last low rank 2. Good to know. Honestly, this is probably going to be the easiest ad I have done. Because I remember doing the Rise board where I had to redo it all. That took forever. Oh, Lord. Dance of Shadows. Fleet Flight. And then Scorching Simeon. See, I actually like the name for some of these quests. But then there are others that could definitely be better. Alright, go ahead and save that. Next. Move that up. Low rank 3-star. I gotta double check this just to make sure. Yeah, all categories, automatic, subcategory. Okay, good. I just wanted to double check. Just make sure I don't accidentally screw something up. Because I do not want to take the time to fix 50 plus quests all at once. Good old Nudra. Whoops. I will say, as a casual game, I think Monster Hunter Wilds fantastic. That's going to be my 2 cents about that. As a speedrunning game, it's much to be desired. It could definitely be improved upon quite a lot. But I think, regardless though, I think that people will still do stuff with it just because it is fun. And there we go. We are done with low rank 3. We're now in high rank. Z. Now that being said, whenever y'all guys actually see the actual leaderboard, it'll be a lot less messy, I should say. Oh, not low rank, we in high rank now. Although I will say, I am happy to see that the different small monster quests actually have a different name for this little section. Okay, this whole page is still high rank 4. Good to know. Also neat to know, because I never bothered looking at the optional quest for a while. No, I have not posted any Wilds runs so far, mainly because I'm still kind of I'm still kind of casually playing through it and trying to grind up my decos without resorting to modding it in, because I don't want to have to mod it in just yet. But that being said, though, if I get a really decent run while I'm farming, I will post it. But yeah, they need to toggle for optionals, flip it from 3 to 5 star. See, I agree with you there, Draco. I agree with you there. And I think the best way to look at what you have and haven't done is to put it in this list. Because otherwise, my eyes just start wandering everywhere, and I can't keep track of anything. They really, I'm gonna agree with you that they really should have separated it like they did in all the other previous games, where they're all separated by their relative star level. But I can definitely see an argument as to why they wouldn't do that, because it would make it look like that for the optional quest. There's not a lot. Because comparatively speaking, especially compared to previous Monster Hunter games, on the optional level side of things, there's significantly less. In fact, we can even compare it side by side between this game and then I'm just going to use Base Rise on just the village quests alone. Because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there are probably more village quests in Rise than there are optional quests in this whole game. I'm willing to bet on that in a bit. So, hold up 1 second. Futile fight. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. The pursued and the pursuer. I guess you probably could do this one. Wrath from Above. Restricted style. I'm not gonna bother saying TA Wiki style because I'm not gonna keep track of TA Wiki runs on this board. That being said, if the TA Wiki run ends up fulfilling the requirements for the restricted run, then yes, I'm going to accept it. But otherwise, I'm not going to make a hard push for it. I haven't seen the TA Wiki rules yet. Hotkren, who's the guy who's developing the TA Wiki website, he says that that site's still like under construction, from what I remember, and they haven't given him an official rule set yet. So everyone's still kind of going off of the blueprints based on what everyone would expect from a TA Wiki run. So just let it be known, right now there is not an official set of TA Wiki rules that has been published by the Japanese community, I should say. Now, I know... Oh yeah, site's one thing. Rule set's yeah. Ain't that the freaking truth? Oh, crap. Whoops. Alright, let's check this page. All also still 4-star. Okay. It's definitely a lot of 4-star quests. A lot more than I thought there were. But I think a part of that's because we actually have some actual optional quests here. It's just not how they want optionals to be in Wild. Optional list is the opening map and start survey. Yeah, pretty much. Like, most of the optionals is like to get you through the story, and then like if you wanted to fight a monster and it just so happens to not be on your map, then it's there. That's why it's all base level stuff. Yeah, hey Zensei. Yep. The leaderboards are on the way. And in fact, if you stick around long enough, then I'll start kind of revising and redoing my document that I have for our restricted rule set, which will be, it'll essentially be speedrun.com's version of the TA wiki rule set, just because we think, especially after Rise/Sunbreak's leaderboard, I think there's a big enough shift in certain philosophies on how we want to run things that Zhao and I felt that it was appropriate to actually begin to differentiate them. Now, it is very possible that both leaderboards end up being like the exact same rule set. Which I think would actually be kind of funny. I'm not too sure how official it is. I know which one you're talking about. It's on the on that other website. I forget what it's called. I don't think I have it bookmarked on my browser. But I know which one you're talking about, because I want to say it's like it also has a forum on it too and everything. Let's see. Oh, I missed Mysterious Poison. Whoops. I'm not going to have this in alphabetical order, just because alphabetical order is already a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm just going to have it in the order that you would actually see the list. As for, is there another leaderboard up? Let me see. Do I have it here? This is the only other one that I am aware of. But my understanding is I don't think there are actually too many runs on there yet. Let me see. Submission log. Load more? Nope. Yeah, these are all the runs that are on there. So yes, there is a leaderboard, but I don't think too many people are aware of that one. So I don't know if it'll be used very much. The one that Hotkrin is making, that one is still under construction, because the only runs that he has on that one are just the beta quests. But I let Hotkrin know that I'd be willing to help him out with the oh shoot, did I accidentally get rid of it? Oh no, please don't tell me I didn't save it. Oh lord, why did I do that? Please don't tell me. Oh god. Please, 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 please. Oh no. Fuck. God damn it. This is why I shouldn't get sidetracked. Oh my god. I did. I hope so too. I really hope that a lot of people chill out. Yep, I sure did accidentally. Whoops. But I will say though, compared to previous games, there are a lot more people actually dipping their toes in the any percent, which I think is honestly pretty exciting, because not too many people normally run the any percent in the first place. Now, when the arena quests actually pop up, I think a lot more people will take or do the arena quest and actually submit to this leaderboard for some validation. But I don't feel good about the pendants being locked behind actual placements, because you know people are just going to cheat the shit out of it just to get their number or their first place pendant. Yeah, any percent is going to be a start to credits. I will say one thing I am hoping to see more often from this one is like more challenge runs, like more naked runs and the such. Because yes, I will say that like difficulty wise this is probably one of the easier ones, but I think due to it being easier, I think it kind of gives way to allow people to try out different things, try out new weapons, try out different strategies, combinations, and rule sets, or like little challenges that they want to do. Because for me, like, maybe it's because I've done like a gajillion speedruns at this point between World, Iceborne, Rise, and Sunbreak. But seeing a challenge run where like you do everything naked, or like you use a bone weapon, like a level 1 bone weapon, I think that stuff can be pretty exciting. And I think it's also worth like noting when it happens. You have an Iron Hunter save, use reframework to delete all map data, HUDless, monster tracking, not restocking. Oh my god. Drago, that sounds awesome. So essentially you're just raw dogging it, living off the land, only like using what's in your item pouch, right? Or like just whatever you just pick up, and that's all you get. Do you even get quest rewards from that? I'm curious. No secret or palico? Oh my god. What a dog. What a dog. Oh man. Let me lock in for a little bit. You know, I just realized the naming conventions between the for the 2 Oil Ball Basin quests: Profusion of Poison and Mysterious Poison. Ooh. To be fair, I'd probably do something similar with a naming convention. Imagine hoofing it after raid out. Right. You pulled bow, so you haven't used with HUD. Oh my god. And you're doing it with a weapon that you're not familiar with. You're even crazier than I thought. That's awesome. Okay, we're almost done with high rank 4. Thank god. So I know they call it the Nursilla in the game, but when my wife and I played For You, we'd always call it the Nursila. I'm just throwing my 2 cents on that out there. I think it's Nursila, not Nursilla. Alright, there we go. Bam. High rank 4 done. Think your longest chase has been Lalabarina? You know, I could believe it. I feel like Lalabarina is one of those that likes to dance around and run a lot. To be completely fair with you, I actually hate fighting it with hammer. Not because it's hard, but anytime I have the mighty brutal swing readied up to and charged up to start smacking it, it dances away on me, and it drives me crazy. Just, oh, goodness. Map data allows for paintball. Oh man, that's fun. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Another page full of optionals. How do you feel about Blunganga in this game? Like, I don't think he's awful. He's definitely better than his Generations Ultimate version. Because I'll say I'm not the biggest fan of Blunganga and his Generations Ultimate version, just mainly because I find him to be rather annoying with his with some of his punches. Wait, really? This one's just called Opposition? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I didn't even consider that some of these quests are categorized as slay quests. So there are like some of these where you cannot capture it. Huh. I wonder if certain quests are just not going to be... Oh, man. I haven't even thought about that. Anything's better than Geo Blanco AI? Dude, I totally agree. I totally agree. But you know, you had... But now I'm thinking about how the TA Wiki website's going to look like. Do you fail if you capture? No, if I remember right, the game just prevents you from capturing it. Because I remember the any percent guys are routing out their runs as for like what can be captured, what cannot be captured, and my understanding is that any of the quests that say slay, you have to slay. You just cannot capture it. Which I guess makes sense for like astonishing adaptability. Just quick second, for those of y'all who have not done this quest, I'm gonna put some spoilers for it. So you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, I'm talking about it. So, with astonishing adaptability, lore-wise, it makes sense because you gotta kill the freaking monster that snuck into the village, so he's not afraid of the keepers, and he's eating people. So, yeah, you kind of have to kill him. Can you capture with Vine Trap or Thunderbugs? I actually don't know. I haven't tried it out myself yet. Mainly because anytime I get him that low, he's running away. I've not tried it, but it'd be neat to see it happen. And I would love to see it happen. But I really don't know if you can. This might be... Yep, that's what I thought. Just about the last page for the 5-star guys. Yeah, I haven't had the chance to try. And it's not something I'm stressing about too much, but it could be really neat to know. So I'm going to let you guys right now who my favorite fight and probably least favorite fights are. Favorite fight for sure is regular Rathalos. My least favorite fight so far is Guardian Rathalos. Oh, that's sad. They couldn't give the Guardian, Folger, and Janath Hunt a good name. Damn. Probably best check is would be Quematrist, lure pod at skull, and put down vine trap. You know, that would actually work for testing. You're right on that. Guardian rat's one of your favorites. You know what the funny thing is that, granted, I think this opinion is probably skewed by the fact that I was fighting Guardian Wrath, and I was fighting a Tempered Guardian Wrath and a regular Guardian Wrath as a double investigation quest. And I think my perspective of that fight is probably skewed because I was doing it at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And unfortunately, my old ass can barely stay up at 1 anymore. So, if I'm fighting I'm fully awake, I think my opinion would probably change. That being said, another one that I actually really like fighting... Raydao. Raydao is a big favorite. I don't care for Uthduna for too much, mainly because of the water. Nudras. 1 a.m. is when all the good hunts occur. Look, 1 a.m., yes, some good hunts can occur. Some juicy clips can occur. But not when you're like doing it and you're like falling asleep. Nudra slideshow simulator? Why do you say that? Oh, because your frames are dying. Yeah, no, I get you there. I can understand where that's coming from. I will definitely say for sure, Zaywu is definitely one of my favorites, and it was such a surprise, and it was so cool when it just suddenly popped up, and you're like, holy shit. Alright, so that's it for high rank 5. Ooh, come on. Go up there. Shit, I messed this up. Here we go. Now on to high rank 6. You take Destroyer on Udro just to make sure he stubs at the end of the hunt. Oh, that's so dirty. So, funnily enough, Zaywu was kind of spoiled for me, but I didn't realize it was a spoiler. Because when I saw somebody post a screenshot of its cutscene, I really thought that somebody just, like, posted a Bloodborne artwork. I really did. And so after I saw that, I'm like, maybe I should get off Twitter just in case. See, Gore's horns were never a jump scare for me, but that monster, it's definitely something else. It's got some different sauce about it. And in general, it's just a very fun fight. Alright, we are almost done. We got one more page left. All the juicy fights that people are actually going to do. See, thankfully for me, I was never exposed to the leaks because I made damn sure that I was not able to see any leaks. The only leak that I got was from a jackass pretending that his leak was his theory on what could possibly happen, or like his theory as to why this thing could be related. That really took some of the blow of like the whole lore drop away from me, and I'm actually a little mad about that because I would have been shitting my pants with excitement and joy if I did not have that little tidbit of information.
What are you talking about?
Oh, about a Monster Hunter Wild story. I had some of it spoiled to me from some of the leaks with a guy pretending that that it was his theory on why a monster looks a particular way.
What did he say?
Oh, he was like, you know, here's my theory about Arkveld. I mean, look at the way its horns are. It kind of looks like the equal dragon weapon concept. I'm like, oh, man. Equal dragon weapon concept. Yeah.
Okay, you can say it again, but that doesn't mean it makes sense.
Essentially, like, in Monster Hunter 1's concept art book, it was essentially a big amalgamation of a bunch of monsters put together. Here, one second. Monster Hunter equal dragon weapon. Whoops. That's definitely not it. Oh my god, what is that? That's hilarious. Pretty much this
Ugh.
thing.
That's gross.
Yeah. But if you see, like, the horns and everything, it's very similar to kind of like what Arkveld looks. And if you actually look at Arkveld's high rank armor, the helmet is essentially a nod to that. Let's see, where are you? Guardian Arkveld specifically.
Ready to get to work?
Like, it is a nod to that. Whoops.
Oh.
There we go. On how you got, like, the similar horn structure and even the mask structure right there.
Okay. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, maybe I'm just, like, dumb, but, like, to me it's like, ooh, has horns? Do. Like, for someone to be like, they are related, like...
See, I
don't
know, because
that just seems dumb, but I also am not that deep in it.
that's fair.
I'm not that lost in the sauce.
See, I'm kind of lost in the sauce. So, like, see,
Lost in the sauce?
yeah, so seeing that, I was like, ah!
Just kinda lost in that.
Yeah, just kind of lost in the sauce. Yes, Ruby, Parahammer. I'm gonna argue that the Parahammer is probably one of the best hammers. Best craftable hammers. Whoops.
Yes.
Now where were we? We were about right here. I thought I did when frost falls. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, when the dust settles. Okay. You know, they could have made it super thematic right here, with the quest naming convention. If you already had when the frost falls and then when the dust settles for Jin and Raidao, you could have had like when the rain stops, or like or maybe when the rain continues, or when the ashes fall. Something along those lines, just like food for thought. Again, the game is out already, but I think personally it's like a missed opportunity there. That's just me. Sinister Sneer. Then we got Misty Depth. Troublemakers. Then lastly, Echoing from the Cliffs. The Struggle to Survive. Alright, so now we are done with HR6. Now we can move on to the most difficult of all to categorize. HR7. My hands hurt at this point. Damn, this music's so fucking good. And like that, bam, you guys. We got all the optional quests. Let's see. Yeah, Jackass. Yeah, Jackass is the nicest way I could put it. Like, when I kind of put two and two together in my brain cells, I was like, fuck that guy. Yeah, that's what I remember it being, like 100 wyverns or something. It took them years of hard work to release a game with half the features. Dude, fuck, dude, don't get me started. Honestly, game should have came out at least 2 months later for sure. At the minimum. I really don't like how some people are defending some of the drip practices for features that should have been there at the start. Like all previous Monster Hunter games. And even you can use Rise, as much as you would love to use it as a scapegoat for like, oh yeah, it came out in drip feed because of COVID, it still had arena quests. It still had a gathering hub. What's this game's excuse? And that's why I think they really made a big push for like, oh, well, you can't access the gathering hub until you finish the game. I could honestly see that, because then it would like buy the developers time to like quickly spruce it up and be like, oh, here you go, guys. Don't get me wrong, I love this game, but I think as a fan of something, you do have a say in these things, and it's not about brown-nosing the thing you love, because if you really do love something, you are going to criticize it. Like, you're not just going to give your child a pass even though he's being a bit of a dick, or if he's doing something dumb. You're going to criticize your child so that way he gets it right. Alright, anyways. Beside that point, now that we're done with all the optionals, let me just double check, or at least I'm fairly confident that's all the optionals, because we're not adding assignments. You can't redo them, sadly. Event quest. Oh, yeah, event quest. We're not done yet. We're doing event quests now. And in fact, for that... Oh, God, who's that? 1 second. I just gotta check. Oh, my God. Oh, you're shitting me. Okay, I gotta save this one for sure. That's hilarious. Quimitrace, what are you doing there? You got Arkveld right here. They're willing to spend dev time advertising DLC slop without addressing performance issues? Yeah, that's concerning too. Yeah, you don't have anywhere to stick captured. Yeah, that's true, because like the captured monsters, they'll just wake up and then they'll just run off for a bit. Alright, I'm gonna save this quest because I would love to do it later. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing it with other folks, because it's just funny. You have the lowest of the food chain and the highest of the food chain in one quest. That should be an event quest or an optional quest. Oh my god, hell yeah. Alright, Tanya, what we got? Let's see, latest news. Thank you, latest news, for being here. So let's see now. We got Kutkugang Cuckoo. In fact, for these... Oh yeah, let me save that first. Let me go back to levels real quickly. And I'm just going to put event quest at the very top. Oh yeah, for real. Like, I don't blame anyone for their machines not being, or being angry that their machines can't run it, especially considering how it was able to run all the other stuff in the past. Like, there needs to be some serious optimization happening. Alright, so unlike last time where... Or unlike Rise, where I separated it with like Event 1, Event 2, I'm just going to have it all under Event Quests, especially since it's getting drip fed to us and on a rotation. I think it'll save a lot of people a lot of stress if we just slap it under Event Quest. Oh, come on. Oh, stop. There we go. Somehow it worked. That's right. I gotta bring that up. Bam. Now. Final variable. Event quests. So we got Kutku, Gone, Cuckoo. Did I even spell that right? No, I did not. It's Cuck. Don't demonetize me. Wait a minute, I'm not even monetized. I could say whatever I want. For now. Actually, I need to put it on this side. It doesn't even work. Stalking supper. Okay. Alright, next. Fuck. Now we got tongue-tied. Is that with? Yes, it is. Next. Like a fire hidden by sand, ballet in the rain. Sand-scarred soul. I actually did this ballet in the rain for a little bit because I thought it was going to have some juicy decos. Honestly, the decos are okay. It's not like farming Raydal or Arkfeld or, you know, any of the Apexes plus Arkfeld. Let me see. Ballet in the Rain and Sandscarred Soul. Yeah? Yeah. And last one, Kangalala Cravings. And now, bam. We are done adding these quests. Now I just got to move the event quest variable up to the top. And then we can start working on the juicy stuff. So now if you click on levels on the board, yes, it's going to kind of show this first place, second place, third place thing right here. And I kind of understand that confuses people. But if you actually click on like high rank 7, you're going to have the quest right here on the side and then your rule format, which I'm about to add. Or not add just yet, but at least start working on the document for it so I can convert it. So like high rank 4, yes, a vow to remain is going to be at the very top. But if you click on the list, then you could just click on the quest that you're looking for. And then you can see the runs. In fact, I can use the Rise board as my example. Because I'd like to think I did a pretty decent job on it. Alright, so Rise, you click Rise. You go to levels. Obviously, yeah, it looks a little odd with like your first, second, third place people. But if you click on MR events, then you can see that there's actually a bunch of different quests right here. Granted, it should be said that because there are so many quests in Rise, you could bet your ass that not every single one has a run. So, but that being said, guys, please post a run in good faith. Do not waste my time with a 13-minute run for low rank using the bare bones low rank armor with the unupgraded low rank bone, sword, and shield, playing like you don't even know what the controls are for the game. Don't waste my time like that. That's all I gotta say. Yes, I did have somebody submit a run like that. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a little mad. Oh, Elia, no. If y'all guys want me to fix that one up later, I'll do that one too. I'll do that one too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll do that one too for y'all guys if you want me to. Yes, people do post for validation. But honestly, I think that it's a little too far reaching. There's 4 boards. Bring it. I'll do GU and Iceborne. Bring it. And probably give me a week or so. Look, I can type. That's all it is. It's just typing and then just getting into the groove of things. Admittedly, right now, I can't do it. Only because I'll get way too distracted. I mean, these guys, I don't know if you were there earlier, Elia, but these guys saw me accidentally wipe all... They saw me accidentally wipe all of high rank 4, and I had to start from scratch when I was like a good 80% done. Alright, so I'm just bringing this to the side for a second because I don't want to accidentally dox myself with my own search stuff. See, Zensei knows. Zensei knows. Oh my god. Alright. Is there a night mode for this? It's way too bright for me. Mode? Nope, that's not it. Alright. Alright, everybody. Just brace your eyes. I don't know how to activate night mode on Google Docs, so just brace yourself. Alright, well, you enjoy your sleep, okay? You take care. Alright, so I had... Hey, Luigi. Nice seeing you, man. Alright, yeah, we just got done posting all of the quests for the Wilds Leaderboard. Honestly, like I was saying earlier, I'm fairly confident that there's more village quests in Rise than there are quests in this whole game that are not investigations. So, that being said, let's take a look. Let me zoom this in at least a little bit. Not because we're old men, but I know that we're all, or y'all all, are looking on phones. So, obviously, purpose of the restricted rule set is for it to be as much hunter with weapon versus monster as possible. Because I did have a guy asking, like, well, why can't I just go ahead and drop some rocks on the dude? I mean, it's still the hunter. You're about to make my moderating more annoying? That's okay, man. That's okay. I'm all for it. Because, that's why this is in a rough draft right now, and that's why There's a bug with item prolonger? Oh, no. Are you talking about the armor skill? Are you serious? What, does it not work, or does it work too good? Or does it stack? Oh my goodness. No way there's a bug with it right now. No, wait. Here's my prediction. What you're about to say. Wait, you could pre-buff with the item prolonger and switch it off and keep the extended duration? Are you serious? Oh, you're hilarious. That's so funny. Oh my god. Hey, thank you for that heads up. Now I can add that. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Item prolonger bug. Where you can pre-buff, switch out the... Wait, pre-buff and switch out the skill for a new one. to keep the extended duration. If you simply ban it every run that pre-buffs, you have to manually check the time the buff lasts. That is true. The main buff we'd have to look out for is what? Might seeds and might pills. Because I know the demon drugs last for 30 minutes at least. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Actually, yeah, that's actually a good point, Elia. Yeah, I thought they overwrote themselves. Here, give me a second. Let me test it real quickly. Oh, wrong controller. I got 2 PlayStation controllers. One for the PS5, one for the computer. Okay, one second. Okay. Here's what we gotta do. We take some might seeds. We take some demon or might pills. We go out to the wild. Pill ends when you go... When pill ends, you go back to seed buff. Is that how it overwrites each other? Weird. Let me see. You know, I just go outside. That's it. That's all I gotta do. I don't have any buffs on me other than maximum might and food. Or the grill, I should say. Okay, good. Now it's counting down. Pill ends when I go to seed buff. Okay. I mean, I already know seed buff lasts like 3 minutes. How long does pill last? 30 seconds? Let me see. I should have had a timer. You know, I'll just watch down here by my stream timer. Oh, and no, I'm dumb. It tells me right there. And you know what? It has the same icon, too. It's got the same icon. 20 seconds. By default. And then, of course, might seed is 3 minutes. It's not going to show me right here. One second.
What do you think we'll find?
I forgot. Where the hell do I see my regular stats as is? Shit. Oh, I'm dumb. It's right there. Yeah, it just went down. But obviously, it's still invisible, like you said. Yeah, seed active pill doesn't add another. Oh my god. Luigi. Actually, no. There is a way to check for it. Look at the fucking damage numbers. Look at the damage numbers. Because here's what I'm going to do. Oh, man. Fix my shit. Thank you. Yeah, here's what we're going to do.
No, we're not gonna do anything.
Oh.
We're gonna roll up our sleeves and get to work.
That's actually what we're about to do. We're about to do some testing.
Testing.
Yep.
But you didn't pass college.
I can still test.
A tempered monster. Look at the size of that skull.
Alright. So, might seed's still on. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to upswing. 101. Without crit. Keep that in mind. Alright. Just go ahead and do flash flies. I missed it and that crit. I missed it again and that crit. One for that crit too. Oh, and I got burst on because I'm a dummy. Oh my god, please. Let me eat it again. Maybe I should use the trap. And that crit too. I just need to use a non-critting set. The training area, Luigi. I have yet to use the training area. I have not even set foot in the thing. I have not set foot in that training area. So no, I haven't heard of the training area because I always forget it exists. In fact, this is the cutscene. I have never been here before. That's too funny, actually.
You really never been there?
Yeah, I've never been here. Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do here. I'm aware I could do more.
Want to tweak its behavior?
Uh-huh. Interesting. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. That was a part of the reason why I didn't go into the training areas, because I heard it was bugged. That's a thing I need to actually put in. No training area bug. Because my understanding is like you can stack certain activatable skills. I think it was like Jin Dahad skill. Yeah, we'll just keep it as
Let's
this.
give it a try.
Alright, let me see. Alright, so this is obviously without anything. 193 on crit. Once that was not crit. $160 on no crit, because now I'm wanting crit. Damn, I am not a critting machine. Oh, that's weak now. Oh, let's destroy it. Ha 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 ha. Interesting. Oh my god, I cannot crit to save my life. Please let me crit. You know what? Actually, I just need to wound this thing. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it now I'm thinking about it. Let it be known, I'm not a scientist. There we go, 214 on crit. Oh my god, how fucking hard was that? 3, 2, 1. Eat. Now with Might Seed. 150 without crits. 202 on crits. Oh, I'm dumb. Because Burst was probably still active. No, yeah, 202 on crit. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and eat this. That's 200. In fact, I remember it being 200. Alright. So pretty much you just have to watch out from when it goes from 160 to 150. Which means you got to be more intimately familiar now with how these, or on how every single weapon has their different buffs and everything. So, how exciting. I think the best way to keep track of this is to note what move, or like keep track of one particular. Actually, I will have fun with this, Luigi. I will have fun because I get to keep track of one move in a moveset that gets spammed a lot from the start, and then just go from there. If I suddenly see that its damage is suddenly reduced, then I know that the Might Seed buff or the Item Prolonger buff was kind of utilized. Because if you're pre-buffing at the start of the quest, like, if it's past 20 seconds, then I know. Yeah, it's a slight headache, but honestly, that's... Oh, shit, yeah, you're right. Longsword's the one that gives me trouble. Okay. That's actually funny. That's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, that's a good point. So for longsword, at least, we need to have a document. Oh, and maybe dual blades because because their whole dodge thing. Why is Caprice banned? So, Cercium, the reason why Caprice is banned is because it gives you a plus 50 boost to your raw damage at very, very random intervals. And because it's at very random intervals, what will end up happening is that people's runs will be outcompeted with each other on a very, very heavy RNG component. Because let's just say you're doing a run, and maybe your average run, you have like maybe 3 procs of Caprice, because I think Caprice only lasts like 10 seconds at a time when it's active. Well, let's just say Caprice activates, and Rathalos is in the middle of doing his flying fuck attacks. Or so, like, maybe you only get like 1 small smack with the Caprice damage. Or Rathalos is KO'd and he's on the ground and you're about to do your Big Bang, Caprice activates, and now your entire Big Bang combo gets a plus 50 raw boost. Just because God said, you know what, how about now? You see how, like, something like that would rub people the wrong way, where, like, let's just say you played better than the other person, but because your buff did not activate at the right lucky time, you get fucked over it. Yeah. So bug where you can pre-buff and switch out the skill for a new one to keep the extended duration. See, it's either that or you just ban pre-buffing. That's the only other option I see. You ban pre-buffing, which I think is rather silly and definitely it makes it very frustrating to run, because if you have to get rid of your buffs every single time, that means, let me see, do you get rid of your buffs whenever you rest? Let me check that out real quickly, because I definitely don't remember if you do or don't. Yeah, exactly. It's annoying as fuck to run, because you gotta wait for your buffs to expire every single time. Or, well, yeah, let me see if these buffs go away whenever I rest. But even then, like, it makes for a very, very, very slow resetting. You have to enter the training area between every attempt. Yeah, that sounds like no fun. And for some people with slower PCs or slower consoles, that means even more load times on top of that. So, yeah, that's honestly no fun for anybody. I would actually much rather deal with the headache of having to keep tabs on people's damage for... Let me see. How much longer does Item Prolonger 3 even last? Let me see now. Whoops. Do I have Item Prolonger? That's actually the better question. Thank goodness this is actually alphabetized. Damn, 50%. Okay, so really we're looking at 30-second duration as opposed to 20-second duration? That's actually kind of interesting to note. So I gotta check to see if mic'd pills last for 30 seconds instead of 20 seconds. That's actually kind of funny and interesting to me. Because depending on the weapon and depending on the matchup, this is the difference between you getting like maybe an extra half a combo's worth of damage. But at the same time, like, it's significant enough because Might Seeds give such a big, or I guess a bit of a bigger damage boost, that it's worth keeping track of. Especially with like how little HP all these monsters have, it's worth keeping track of. Now I think arguably the only fight in the whole game where item prolonger does not have enough time to really take effect from the pre-buffing is probably the Jin Dahad fight. I think that might be the only one because I think it takes at least a good 10 to 15 seconds to actually travel from the camp to Jin. So that's probably the only fight where this would not take effect. How interesting. Alright, so I guess later on I gotta figure out everybody's damage. How exciting. So I guess I might have to mod my game after all. That's funny. I was trying so hard to not mod my game, but I have to mod my game to moderate the game. After all, there is a mod in moderate. For a new one to keep the extended duration is prohibited. Again, from a judge standpoint, I would much rather do this than have people constantly having to do it. So let me do this. That's right, it's a different. I'm used to using Microsoft Word. I don't usually use Google Docs too often. Prohibited. And then let me add at the bottom here. Permitted. All right. Actually, that's kind of funny to think about. Within the permitted section, there's a prohibited section. Well, actually, that's where I do this. There we go. Bam. Weapon swapping of the same weapon type is permitted. So, I know some people had some questions in regards to the weapon swapping.
I have tons of questions. Answer them for me.
Alright, so the question is like, is it with the same weapon type or can I switch from like greatsword to hammer? My answer to that is it's only of the same weapon type. So like, if you have two Archean hammers that you have, one's blast, one's paralysis, you are able to switch in between. So like, let's just say I'm doing a multi-monster quest or monster decides to transition on my sorry butt. I can switch from this hammer to this hammer, just as long as it's a hammer. They can have different skills. Hell, you can have two of the exact same hammers. You can have two paralysis hammers with different weapon skills if you wanted to. Just as long as you're not going from like hammer to hunting horn or like heavy bow gun to gun lance. Just keep it in the same weapon type. E.g. What is this hammer called again? So that way people get the idea. Exactly. It is a little redundant, and it's kind of goofy. But this gives the hunting horn players flexibility, I think, as well. Because you can pre-buff on the way, or pre-buff with your preferred buffing hunting horn, and then switch to a different hunting horn that you think might be better. Oh, you got Little Caesars?
Crazy boy.
Oh my god, you're the best.
Crazy boy.
I love you.
Crazy boy. What?
I love you so much. Oh man.
That like couple seconds to register what had happened.
You're so awesome.
Crazy boy.
But yeah, so like you can switch between the two weapons if you wanted to. Or like you could switch from one hunting horn to another hunting horn. Like you pre-buff with one horn. And when I say pre-buff, you know what I mean. You're running to the monster and you're buffing yourself. And then you switch to your preferred attacking hunting horn that you want to do. Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, no, I'm not going to use hammer as my example. I'm going to use the hunting horn as the example because I think arguably this is possibly most relevant for the horns. Yeah, I'm just going to say Esperanza horn. Because I think people will kind of get it more if I use hunting horn as an example.
Crazy boy.
Oh, thank you.
It's wet though, be careful.
Okay. Let's see. Sacred is definitely permitted. These maps are way too big to not allow this thing to be used. Which is also why I wanted to have the weapon swapping thing also be permitted. Because for me personally, time and time again, I have accidentally switched weapons while I have been going from area to area. And I think the last thing somebody wants is that just for the whatever random weapon that they have as their secondary weapon, them accidentally switching it, and then all of a sudden their run is not permitted. Oh my god. Cat was not kidding. That crazy bread is moist. Let me see. Endemic life is permitted. Because, honestly, with how this game is, there's way too much endemic life roaming around. I think it would honestly make for a very frustrating running experience. Especially if there's like an event quest that you want to run, and there's like 1,000 paratoads on the map. It wouldn't be fun to run. Use of lure pods. That is... Okay, so... I had a guy from TCT explain... Kind of, like, tell me why, like, the lure pods should be banned as a whole. And the reasoning was that with lure pods... In fact, let me pull up the message. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it off screen because I don't want to, like, out people out. Here it is. Yeah, so the guy's argument, at least, is turf war abuse. Granted, I don't really foresee turf wars happening too much in the optional quest in the first place. So that's kind of a moot point, but probably more relevant for a different quest down the line. Free taunt from monster. Small area abuse for some weapons like lance and gun lance who have mobility but benefit a lot for it or from it. So Like, keeping that in mind, that's why I ended up updating it from lure pods. You could just use them to... You're limited to one per monster and should only be used to prevent a monster from fleeing. Yes, that means that you have to keep track of the skull icon, because generally when the skull icon pops up, they are going to flee within a moment. But that being said, like Luigi says, a transition is going to be a reset. Like 9 times out of 10. Fortify. Fortify is actually an interesting one because my understanding is that I want to say Fortify is now a like an armor set bonus as opposed to
You eat this trash?
What do you mean I eat
don't
this?
like it. That's gross.
It's my favorite.
Ugh. That is not it, Chief.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
More for you, I guess.
Yes, it is more for me. She don't like the Little Caesars Italian cheese bread. I will have fun with this, Luigi. I will do what I can. No, let me see. Yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah, because things with fortifying pelt. And granted, you gotta have 3 of them at least. They all have fortify. Please do. And even if they don't make my life harder, just let me know. Just because I think it's important to know the list of bugs and glitches that are there. So at least like people can be informed on the freestyle side of things. Because I'll tell you this right now. For freestyle, for the most part, I'm going to keep it as an anything goes type of deal. Now, granted, if we ever get to the point where there's like impossible Arshin stuff, there's a couple out of bounds glitches. Awesome, actually. Anything that can be used in a practical run, I hope. Because I think it'd be funny to see for a freestyle one. Because I think for freestyle, you should use whatever you have. Honestly, a big reason why there was such a big issue with Sunbreak's freestyle is just because of the whole of the Curious Armor system. That one was so much of a shit show that you're gonna do 4P with Oob in Oro. Ooh, okay. Have fun, man. What monster are y'all doing? Alright, let me pull up the document again. See, actually, okay. Give me, if y'all guys want to chime in your thoughts, give me your thoughts on this. Fortify. In the past, it has been banned. Mainly because you die and you get an attack and defense boost. Now, that being said, I think everybody can agree that if you're already carding in a quest, you're gonna abandon it. And while it is a good noob skill to use, no serious speedrun is actually going to properly utilize it. So the question... Well, actually, how long does Fortify last? I actually do not think about this. Maybe it should still be banned. Just let yourself faint. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. 1 second. Whoops. Germa. I did not think about this. The pre-buffing.
Come back anytime.
How long does it last? Does it say? during a quest. During a quest. So theoretically, if I let myself die, yeah, I know, pre-activate fortify. That's why we gotta see if this is actually something that's possible. All right, let it be known. 1,186 attack at this moment. Where's the nearest monster I could get slapped? Because funnily enough, we never started the quest with the Deshaguma. Alright, let me go ahead and have this Italian cheese bread.
Tempered monster. Look at the size of that scar.
Can I? That'd be funny.
The wyvern milk seems to be leaking out in irregular locations.
Alright, buddy, fuck me up. Thank you, thank you. Don't. Oh, shoot, I just realized. So this is the other reason why the cats are going to be banned from investigation quests. Because your cats, or if you, oh my god. Because your cat is going to stay active like this until the quest actually starts if you put them away. Hey, Daisy fan. Alright, so yeah, so we're testing Fortify right now. Come on, kill me. Kill me. Thank you. Here we go. 1,186. That was our original attack. Let's keep that in mind. It is still 1,186. Which is actually excellent news.
Right.
So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to quickly go on a quest. Get our asses clapped at least once. He's the fastest way I could think of to getting our asses clapped. Let me turn off display capture real quickly. There we go. That way it's a little bit more crisp for y'all guys.
Commencing quest now. Are you
Yeah,
prepared?
because now we're actually in a begin quest. $1,186. Oi. Thank you. Alright, one more time. Are you serious? That's weird. That should have hit me. Thank you. Alright, give it to me once more. Once more. Once more. Thank you. Alright, and it'll probably tell us too that Fortify is activated. Yeah, Fortify is activated. That's what I thought.
We've been given more supplies.
1,300.
Secrets pouch.
You know, I'm curious if I switched off Fortify, if I would keep the buff, kind of like that item prolonger thing. The rock falling in this quest allowed, or is it just that the monster do it by accident? That's a good question. There's not an easy answer for that one. Because, so like, you can go ahead and make the rocks fall on their own. And if they don't hit the monster, you're fine. But, gosh. Because the thing is it's extremely hard to relegate, or to regulate something like that. Because, at least for the restricted format, because historically in the past, there are quests that are just not restricted format friendly compared to other quests. Like, biggest one that comes to mind would be Sunbreak's Narwa. That is not a very friendly quest to do under the TA Wiki rule set. Just because of the whole bombs and everything that you can utilize. Because, like, you have a lot of dead time. Where you're just kind of, like, twiddling your thumbs waiting for her to come back down. The other thing that it reminds me of is, and I keep bringing it up, it's Ancient Forest Dam with Rathalos. because that's a quest that is an absolute nightmare to run T8 wiki style. Because if the dam breaks and Rathalos gets swept away, you lose that whole run. And I would say on average, for every 10 runs, Rathalos breaks the dam maybe like 8 times. Now, I have heard some people say, like, the monster has done it on accident. I think it's just going to have to be a case-by-case basis. Because the real idea behind Restricted is that it really is as much like you and your weapon versus the monster as possible. And I don't necessarily want to encourage an environment where people are fighting each other over like this extreme RNG nature of some monsters because like, oh, well, your monster made your guy topple over, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to think the best way to phrase it, and I don't think I phrased it very well either. No. But it is a very valid question because the 2 monsters that are most affected by this at this moment are Raydal and Arkveld for their optionals. And I think the weapons that are arguably the most affected by this would have to be every single ranged weapon. Because if I remember right, like Daisy, you could just shoot it down, right? Like, I've never bothered to shoot it down before because I don't use these weapons. Here, I'll actually just straight up go there myself. Yeah, you can just shoot it down. Damn. Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't have the best answer for you. Because damn. Oh, man. Because I don't want it also to just start being like, you're just fishing for rocks and stuff. Because I know one complaint a lot of people had in the beta, and it was with, well, the beta for against Raydal, is that the fight was just rock falling simulator. All you did was just make Raydal die to the rocks, essentially. Yeah, you hit him with the weapon in between. You can bring aggro back and lose it if you hit the monster hard if it tries to flee. So when you say that, are you referring to like if you hit it hard enough while it's taunting at you? Yeah, I think that one's another interesting case. Because like Luigi was saying earlier, generally if the monster is already fleeing and if they flee on you, you're going to be resetting it anyways for a better time. So I think the hope is that whenever you are fighting a monster and it's like the very, very end. Oh, man. Well, anyways, if you're fighting a monster, you should be hoping to kill it in that first area instead of having it transition over and over again. Not only that, but the lure pods can also
like a natural trap.
yeah. Yep, just like you said. I gotta see how low you can hit it. Is it that low? Or let me see. That's not what I meant to do. Nope. 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 That's how you know I don't play this weapon. Oh my gosh. I have friends that are much smarter than me who know how to use this weapon. Obviously, if I shoot the top... Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, if I shoot the top, it comes down. But obviously, for sure, it looks like at least at the middle point, that's where it begins to break. So at any point, if Raid Out or Arcvel do moves that like start to hit the middle of those things, then you're looking at a reset for the restricted rule set. Yeah. This is the Ancient Forest Dam all over again. And I remember at the time, essentially the only thing you could do was just suck it up. But at the same time though, big secret is that back then Rathlos was not a very popular monster to run, usually, just because he was a pain in the ass.
Wow.
And then on top of that, the world also had special arenas too, so people didn't mind it as much. But clearly, like, this is more of an issue, I would think. Damn. I'm just going to warn you guys right now. Monster Hunter Wilds is not going to be a very speedrun friendly game. In the individual level segment, I would think. I haven't tried out the RTA side of things, and it seems to be a lot better RTA. Actually, yes, Daisy. I did add the event quest to the board. In fact, here, let me just go ahead and show you. Oh, that's Rise, and 1 second. It's just something that you're going to have to keep in mind. Like, the freestyle side of things is probably going to be very, very easy, but I think a lot of people will probably lose interest in it very, very quickly. Mainly because the monsters have a lot... No, I don't think it'll be as bad as GoldenEye at the moment. But, here, 1 second. Let me go back to Wilds. Yeah, so as you can see, and we're going to be making another video on this. So essentially, whenever you click on the game and you're looking at the leaderboards, you're going to be clicking onto levels at least, or you just stick with leaderboard right here, because I haven't added any percent yet, because right now it's only showcasing the levels. It's not showcasing full game. I don't know how to properly do the full game part, so I'm going to let Zhao handle that. But at least for the levels aspect of it, you would select whatever level there is. Like, we're just going to use high rank 5, for example. And then from high rank 5, you'll choose or click this menu, and then you'll choose whichever quest you're looking for. And then you would choose whichever rule set you're looking for. Obviously, this is not completed yet, so let me show you Rise's leaderboard, on which I also moderate Rise. So in which case, levels, obviously, between your platforms. Oh, that's what I needed to add. I needed to add platforms, too. Because obviously, there's a very big difference between running on PC versus running on PS4, PS5, or not PS4. I don't think this game's available for PS4. Anyways, PC, PS5, or Xbox One. Especially with bow guns. Having their different ammos tied to very variable frame rates. Anyways, so levels. So you would click on the sort of level that you have over here. Yeah, it'll look a little funky, but anyways, so like Anomaly 2, you click on that, and then you got your different A2 quests, and then you could click on the quest that you want, and then you click on the rule format that you want. Now I'm going to let you know right now, it's not going to be freestyle simple, freestyle restricted, simple restricted. That sort of nonsense ended up coming about due to the Curious Armor system that was present in Sunbreak. which definitely killed a lot of people's interest to run the individual level side, and I'll definitely say caused a lot of infighting amongst a bunch of individual level speedrunners. But unless you could come up with a better solution that still sticks with the core value of it being as much hunter weapon without a lot of the outside interference as possible, because I think it might be one thing if like a single paratoad ends up giving you a free para, or a single flash fly just giving you a little bit of like of a window to either sharpen or just keep on doing damage without worrying too much about directly aiming at you. But it's another thing whenever you have an environmental feature dealing 1,000+ damage and a free window to hit on the monster. I think that's where really that line is drawn with the environmental factors. Is the fact that like the falling rocks and everything can deal like a significant amount of damage. And that damage typically scales based on how much HP that monster has. Yes, the arena fights will also have their own little level category as well. Because especially with the arena fights, I mean, obviously it's only going to be single player or 2-player. Now, what I'll let you know right now, for the single player, obviously it's going to have all your different weapon categories with it. But then for the 2-player, it's just going to be categorized as like multi-weapon. Because as Luigi explained earlier to me, generally how a lot of the arena speedrunners are, or how they categorize their runs, is that if it's a 2-player run, they don't pay attention if it's like hammer and hammer or longsword and longsword. They only see it as the weapon duo as a whole. So it's just like whatever time is fast. They don't care what weapon you use. They do care if it's a the single player one, but in regards to multiplayer, no, it's anything goes. That's kind of how the culture has been around that. Because after all, I don't know how much of the arena quests you have done in the original, or in not original, I should say, in the older Monster Hunter games. Because, again, I don't know your background with the game. But I'm just going to assume, I'm just going to pretend nobody's played it, because Wild is super, super big right now. Since every weapon will have their own different item sets and armor sets, some are going to be vastly underpowered compared to others, but they're given like significant support utility as opposed to offensive utility. So obviously it's not fair to compare the heavy bowgun that has like normal 1 ammo, 3 shock traps, 3 pitfall traps, and 2 bombs, to the greatsword that has weakness exploit, crit boost, and attack boost 1 with a focus 2. But no items. Anyways, let's go back to this document real quickly. And let me keep on reorganizing it just so it's easier to read. Because I think that's always going to be important. I think the easier these things are to read, the better it is. But yeah, see, like I was saying, Fortify is kind of an interesting one because, especially in Wilds, from what I can see, if you are fainting, you are resetting. There is no real benefit to activating Fortify. And I think even when Zoshia comes out in his high rank version, there's not going to be a benefit to activating Fortify. Because I think more than ever, depending on where you're fighting at, you're going to have a much longer like travel time or not. And I know the Zoshia Arena, it's like an extra... Well, besides the... Okay, so the thing with the heroics skill is that it asks you to essentially be around 30% or less HP. This value varies from game to game. But main thing, be at very low HP and you get an extremely significant attack boost by the percentage. This boost is significant enough to where it deserves its own category, in which case people will utilize it in the freestyle category because that's how significant the boost is. The other thing about it is that it tends to create an unfun scene where you have to wait for the monster to damage you enough or to damage you with the right attacks to get down to the to that heroics range. And then on top of that, since you can't just like bomb yourself because there are no bombs in the restricted /TA wiki formats, it's significantly harder to maintain that heroics range. And so it just becomes very unfun to play around with in this type of restricted format. So that's why heroics is banned. In fact, I can definitely tell you right now that heroics runs as a whole versus non-heroics runs, I would say historically they save between 30 seconds to like whole minutes of time if you're playing perfectly. And again though, and that's where the unfun part comes in, if you're that low on HP, you die at a sneeze 9 times out of 10. That, and sometimes heroic skills also allows you the ability to just chain lock a monster to death, depending on who they are. So that's that. That's the big reason why heroics is prohibited in this restricted format, because it's significantly harder to consistently get it going and to keep it afloat. Besides the very massive damage boost. And not only that, but the heroic skill being prohibited has also been a very historic thing for a lot of the IL runners. Because I'm going to let you know right now, speedrun.com is normally not the first website that a lot of the IL scene thinks of whenever it comes to leaderboards for this game. Because they think speedrun.com, they think the RTA scene. Because typically different websites will host their own leaderboards, and that's generally what people tend to flock to. But as far as I'm aware, this is going to be the first leaderboard that's actually going to be open to the public. So yeah. But historically, like I said, like for the TA Wiki format, which is the rule set that normally everybody is accustomed to, which is why you see TA Wiki kind of everywhere, even though the official rule set's not out yet, it's what everybody is used to, so they just kind of assume it. Food skill caprice. I know somebody had a question earlier about it. I know I answered it. And I think for it, it's rather self-explanatory. Nobody wants to deal with a random plus 50 boost to your damage that gives you plus 50 10 seconds at a time at very random intervals. Nobody wants to do that. Environmental mechanics. So this is the big one. Yeah, certain environmental features are prohibited, such as environmental damage. And I should put falling rocks. Oil pits. What's that? I'm just going to call it a forge hammer. I think everybody will get the idea of what I mean when I call it the oil basin forge hammer.
Calm the mind and focus.
And then I'm going to go ahead and move Turf Wars down to the permitted side. Turf Wars and damage from other monsters are permitted because kind of hard to control that. Not only that, but I think it is kind of interesting to some degree. Because what I have seen based on the damage done is that if the monster is of the same species, they do not do very much damage to each other. Like, for example, Raytheon versus Raytheon, they only do about 15 damage to each other. But if it's Gravios versus Raytheon, they are both doing damage to each other in the hundreds. And again, in these optional quests, the other monsters don't normally come in to kind of fuck you up. I think this is more relevant for the multi-monster quests, which can also add like some layer of strategy to it if somehow you manage to get it to work that way. Let's see. This one I feel is very important. I'll keep this there, even though it's a permitted type of ruling. I think it's important enough to stick it with the environmental one. Let's see, using Slinger Prompt to pull out Jin Dahad is permitted. Oh, and using Slinger Prompt to pull down Rock for cover for Jin's ultimate is permitted. Now, this seems like a bit of a no-duh thing, but I'm just putting it there just in case. If somebody assumes that it's not permitted and they just eat the cart or something silly like that. Because really no need to eat a cart like that. Now, that being said, I want to see the freestyle version of this fight where somebody either just they just do a bunch of counters for the ultimate, because I've seen videos of people doing like, or they chain the counters for the ults. So you just do it right next to Jin, counter a bunch to just dodge it all, and then just start wailing on him as soon as the ultimate's hitbox is over. Or barrel bomb yourself with the small barrel bomb to put you on the floor so you have your iframes active, and then you get up just as the hitbox for the ult is over. Just some food for thought for what you could do in the freestyle scene. Item gathering quest is permitted. That will definitely be down here. Mantle use is prohibited. Palico use is prohibited. This includes pre-buffing with the Palico before the quest begins. This is going to be very, very important to note because just because pre-buffing is a thing. Let me see. Like, for the most part, though, I can't think of anyone or any other things I gotta put in. I'll switch this and put it right here, so that way people see the permitted stuff and then they see what's prohibited. I'd say see the positive first and then you see the negative. Because I know for sure what some people are thinking is that, well, actually, no. I could tell you why in Rise the dogs were banned. Because in Rise, the dogs also did damage. The secret does not do damage at all. So I can't imagine that in the TA Wiki format, when that rule set eventually comes out, that it would be banned for that rule set. But what I do see happening, though, under the TA Wiki rule set, is that endemic life would probably be banned. So if you accidentally hit a flash bug and the monster is affected by it, sorry, man, you just gave up your run on accident. So I honestly, that's probably the big difference, and possibly the lure pods. Those are the two that I could see being banned. And wait 1 second. Did I put dung pods in here? Flash ball. Good. Okay, good. Yeah. Because like if you don't see it here in the prohibited list, you can assume that it's fair game. Usually. Yeah, Fortify is prohibited, Heroics is prohibited, Caprice is prohibited. Actually no, I know. Training room skill activation bug is prohibited. Because for those who do not know, there is a bug in the training room. I don't think they have patched it out yet, and I don't know if they are going to patch it out when the Gathering Hub update comes out. But my understanding is that with Jin Dahad's group armor skill, you can activate it in the training room, switch your armor, go on a quest, and keep your buff. And let me see what Jin's armor skill is exactly. Here it is. I am very pretty. The Revolts. Increases attack after recovering from webbed, frostbite, being pinned, or a power clash. So yeah. You can activate that, go on a quest, and then you can keep and you keep the buff for however long that duration is. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, really. I feel like I'm probably missing something important, but I honestly cannot put my finger on what. Because we went over the weapons. You can switch weapons as long as it's the same weapon type. So you can go from Shewu tree to Balaharo tree if you wanted to. Same thing with their decorations. You can utilize different decorations in each weapon. So like, if you wanted 2 Shewu hammers, and they both had different decos, you could theoretically use it. So that's like a whatever for me. Let me think what else. I mean, talismans are no longer RNG. It's back to Monster Hunter World style, where you just craft it, and then you have a good time. That's it. Nothing more than that. The decorations as a whole, I mean, farming for decorations has been made significantly better in this game. And honestly, decorations have never been banned in the first place. So it's kind of a non-issue there. Oh wait, 1 second. I'm just gonna put heroic skill is prohibited. Just because it's significantly easier to keep track of just flat banning the skill versus you accidentally get the skill, or it just so happens to be on your set, and then like you get under your 30% threshold for like 5 seconds, you capitalize on that damage, and then it goes back to normal. Like, that would also be a bit of a headache. Let me see. Smoke bombs, traps, barrel bombs. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me add vine traps. Because vine traps, I would definitely say, is probably the easiest or one of the easier hazards to just avoid. But even then, it needs to be noted. Because, like, something like a vine trap, I don't know. I don't know how to best put it. Well, I'll leave it off for now. I still have 2 more days before the leaderboard gets fully released. I'm gonna take some last minute feedback from other runners for sure. But otherwise, from what I have seen so far, people actually like the rule set. Oh, that's right. A pal of mine, Nar, he had asked about the, one second. It's the, I forget what it's called. I think they called it Adrenaline Armor Skill Set. I think it's probably utilized with bow and dual blades. So let me see real quickly. Where is it? Which one would it be under? Definitely not latent power, right? Skills. Nope. Definitely nope. Protect, binding, ward, forger's luck. That's definitely not it. War cry, diversion. Definitely not that. Let's see. Adrenaline. That's what it's under. It's under adrenaline. Temporarily though. Temporarily. You know, let me go ahead.
I'm ready to work. Alrighty. Perfection.
Let me see how long this thing actually lasts.
Perfection.
Because Nara was asking me if this should be banned as well, because it's technically also an HP related activation thing. But if it's a temporary thing though,
Fit you to a T.
I think that's worth looking at.
We got a sale on. Need anything?
Let me just make sure the bonus is on. Oh, that's Gravius armor. Maybe I didn't have to do that much. No, I did. Yeah, I did. Never mind. When health is at 40% or lower. Alright, so... Actually, I need to switch weapons. Best weapon I think to test this with would actually be dual blades. Yeah, dual blades would be the best weapon to test that with.
I heard from the others.
Just because I like it. So yeah, so let's get our ass beat real quickly to 40% HP. Thankfully, what I do appreciate about Wilds is that, and Sunbreak I should say as well, is that they make it a bit more obvious as to like where your HP thresholds are for activating skills. Because I know that was not the case in like 4U, and I don't think it was really the case in World, but don't quote me on that. Alright, beat my ass, please.
That monster. Let's look for another one.
That's okay, just beat me up. Thank you. Come on, do it again. Wait, does flawless armor activate every time? No, it does not. Oh, that's right, it's only when you're at full HP. Thank you, thank you. Oh no, Bakey Bee, please. Shit. This Palico is going to make it difficult to test. I gotta burn through his Vigor Wasps. Thank you. Keep beating me up. Alright, Bakey B, you got another one that I can expire through? Come on. Thank you. Let me see. There we go. Now we're in Adrenaline. No, Baker. No. Baker. Damn, he heals so much. boy. Thank you. Thank you. So, like, that's the rate of our stamina consumption right now. It's not very fast. Alright, let's see how it is when we get under 40. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm so fucking dumb. This would be easier if I actually just utilized fucking bombs. Just ignore me. I am not the man for, like, consistent testing. Alright, so continuous drain is definitely the same. It looks like you lose less stamina whenever you're dodge rolling. So yeah, so continuous stamina drain, still the same. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is how relevant is this for dual blades? Or not dual blades, how long does this buff last? Because it says it's temporary. See, I'm not seeing a timer on that. And the thing with all food skill buffs, or like any sort of like temporary buff, even like with burst, you would see a timer for how long it lasts. So I honestly don't know why they put temporary on this thing. Yeah, that's like maybe a 10th at most for that dodge roll. Let me see. Let me heal back up. Do you see a difference? I'll be honest, I do not see a very big difference on this. Let me see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 to get past my current HP. Alright. Now I'm gonna let them fuck me up again. Come on. Fuck me up. Please. Thank you. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta crap. Ration. Alright, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You know, okay, I'll be honest, there is not a very big difference between the two. Maybe it's more noticeable on bow then. Because if bow works like in World... Oh, excuse me. Whoops. Bye-bye. Yeah, because if bow works the same way it does in World, then, like, I guess that'd be easier to test. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually very underwhelmed with how little stamina was being lost. Oh, strange. I still have the stamina boost. Why?
Look at all our ingredients. We should whip out the barbecue grill.
Stamina boost should be gone. Why is it there? What the hell? Are you serious? This is still here? Why is that still here? This should not be here. Unless I'm not paying attention to like another skill that's on here. That's Charge Master. Yeah, that's definitely got nothing to do with it. Peak performance, recovery speed, peak performance, constitution. Unless, like, this skill just does not stack with constitution, but even then, like... Oh, there it goes. Adrenaline wore off. That actually lasts for quite a while. Okay, so then here's the question then. Can I pre-buff with adrenaline? Yeah, temporary. That's a very long temporary. That's like at least a good minute afterwards. So get yourself into HP range and heal yourself up, and you're there for a good minute. In fact, let's try that again. Okay, you see the icon. It's back. It's back. So let's heal ourselves. See how temporary this really is. I'm looking at my timer. We're starting at 25:48 on my timer. Or on my stream timer, I should say. You're shitting me. This is the longest temporary. See, I think temporary, like 10 to 20 seconds. Or at least 30 seconds in now, for sure. We're still buffed. We're still buffed. We're even out of the fight this time. Hey, sweet love. We are doing testing with some skills real quickly. Alright, it has now been a full minute since we have fully healed ourselves outside of the range for adrenaline. This adrenaline's lasting quite a long time. A very, very long time. Oh, there it goes. So that lasted about a minute and a half. It's a very, very big temporary. Now let's get our asses beat and let's change our armor real quickly. No, Becky B, don't heal me. He's only healing me because the quest, there is no quest, so he feels like he's free to do whatever. Please let me get beat by these monsters, even though I really should be using bombs.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
He can't help it, guys. He's just doing his best. I can't put him away. Not until he gets the signal, quest starts. Thank you, thank you. Keep beating me. Well, might as well learn. Alright, good. Alright, here we are. We are back in the red. Let's run away. Alright, let's keep this in mind. We're still in range. Still in range. Timer's not gone down yet. We just need to switch out one armor piece. That's it. We'll just do two for good measure. Or I'll find out. It is still active. This shit is still active. Oh my god. Pre-buffing with adrenaline is a thing. Oh my god. How ridiculous. Remember, guys, temporary. I think it's safe to say, yeah. Maximum light wore off. Yeah, better wear it off. just what the heck? This is so goofy. Like, what? Well, I'm happy y'all guys are here to witness it with me. So that's actually like another one I can add. Prohibited, pre-buffing. Let's see. Yep, it's gone now. Alright, so, or maybe better yet, I think the safe thing to say, instead of just saying pre-buffing with adrenaline's prohibited, I should just say, because this is clearly an exploit. If you want to use it in freestyle, feel free to use these sorts of exploits in freestyle. So I'm just going to put armor, skill, switching exploits are prohibited. Examples: item prolonger, still lengthening, item duration when skill is switched out, armor, skill, adrenaline still active after switching out armor, skill, or armor sets. Oh no, I'm just gonna put switching out armor pieces because it needs 3 pieces to activate. Wow. Haha, how fun, how fun. Okay. Well, that was some good testing though. You know what? I think probably the best bet would just be to also ban adrenaline with heroics. I mean, it's not like anybody's really... Ow, boy. You're cutting into me. Prohibited. Alright. So, this is the rule set as of right now. Honestly, I really do feel that this is probably pretty close to what we're going to get. Yeah. So, one more time for the restricted rule sets. We are no longer going to change this name. We're sticking with it. Whoops. So, put this right here. And then RR. While keeping some of the joys of utilizing newer mechanics. Alright, so this is looking almost pretty final, I think. Just some touch-ups here and there. Mega Demon Drug. Whoops. Gore Beta 3-piece? One second.
I heard from the others.
What's Gore Beta 3-piece? Let me check.
Got something in mind?
Is that Gore's 3-piece thing? Oh, are you talking about Magala's Tyranny? One second. Because Gore Beta... Wait, are you serious? Oh. I never realized that, Oh, how interesting. Yeah. I did not realize that, Gore also had scale layering. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, I did not even consider that. I thought it was just Gravios for the most part. Oh, shoot. That's the case. That might also be Rathalos, too. Let me see. Rathalos. Where are you? Yeah, Adrenaline. It's on a bunch of sets. I guess there's not really much you could do about it. I mean, unlike Heroics, it's because Heroics is a lot more intentional because that's an actual skill to slot in. And it's on very specific pieces. Man, y'all guys got me on that one. I think the big... Well, okay, here's what I'm going to say. Shoot. I'll have to bring this up with a couple more runners one more time because I'm about to go to bed. But for sure... I guess I can't really ban Adrenaline armor set skill. But I can at least ban the armor switching exploits for sure. Although, see, the funny thing about it, though, is, like, we were just testing it out. Like, Adrenaline was not doing very much. Granted, I can definitely have somebody else test it for me within the next day. But otherwise, Adrenaline was not doing very much as a whole. It might be more noticeable for Bow. But otherwise, I was not seeing any difference unless it doesn't actually activate. No, that's a lie. It was activated. We activated it. We got the icon for it. Skill just does not do as much as somebody would imagine. So, yeah. Alright. Well, that's all I got for y'all guys for tonight. I guess I'm not going to be doing any hunts because it's already 10:30 and my old ass needs to get to bed. But... that being said, thank y'all guys for showing up, putting in your inputs, your different insights, and just like some different ideas out there. And I hope y'all guys have a wonderful night tonight. I'll see y'all guys next time. I don't stream consistently at all, so if I do, I'll let everybody know. And if you see a notification, chances are I'm just going to be streaming right then and there. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. Later.